before the world wakes up, before your phone starts buzzing, before messages, noise, and responsibilities begin chasing you, there is a moment. A small, quiet moment that most people rush past. But Allah places it gently in your day, like a gift waiting to be opened. It's the moment right before Fajr fully settles, when the sky is slow, when the air feels lighter, when your chest feels a little more open without knowing why. In that moment, your heart is clearer than it is at any other time. Your thoughts are softer. Your worries are still half asleep. Your soul, for a few breaths, is fully awake. This is the moment when Allah makes it easiest for you to return to Him. No pressure, no rush, just a quiet invitation. And in that stillness, when the world has not yet claimed your attention, Surah Yasin becomes something more than words on a page. It becomes a beginning, a gentle push in the right direction. It becomes alignment, your heart settling into the place it was meant to start from. It becomes light, a light that doesn't just brighten your morning, but your mind, your decisions, your patience, your entire path for the day before anything else touches you. Let the Quran touch you. Before anyone else speaks to you, let Allah speak to you. This is the first light. This is where the barakah begins, the heart of the morning. When you sit with Surah Yasin at dawn, something even deeper begins to unfold, something gentle, something quiet, something your heart has been waiting for, even if your mind didn't realize it. There is a soft shift that happens inside you. Your breath, without you forcing it, slowly finds a calmer rhythm. It becomes steady, peaceful, almost like your body finally feels safe enough to rest. It's as if every part of you that was tense throughout the night finally understands it doesn't need to hold everything anymore. Your thoughts, which were heavy or confusing yesterday, begin to slow down. The racing stops. The noise fades. The things that felt sharp in your mind start losing their edges. The heart gets room to breathe. And your heart, your tired, overworked, constant carrying heart, feels held, not by this world, not by the people who come and go, not by the things you achieved or failed to achieve, but by Allah. There is a feeling of being understood without speaking, a feeling of being seen without asking, a feeling of being comforted without explaining what hurts. And the beauty of this moment is that it doesn't require perfection. You don't need to recite fluently. You don't need to remember every rule. You don't need to read a long portion. You don't need to have the strongest iman that morning. You don't even need to feel spiritually ready. All you need is honesty. All you need is a little sincerity. All you need is the willingness to sit, even if your mind wanders, even if your voice shakes, even if your body feels half awake. You only need to show up. Allah never asked more than that. He never said your recitation must be perfect. He never said your focus must be complete. He never said your energy must be high. He simply loves the heart that tries, even if it tries slowly, even if it tries imperfectly, even if it tries with weakness. And that is why even one verse, just one, read with a quiet morning voice, read with a sincere heart, read with trembling lips, can shape your entire day. Because dawn is not ordinary time. Dawn is a time when Allah spreads a special stillness over the world, a stillness that opens the heart and softens the soul and makes guidance easier to receive. At dawn, the heart hears differently. It feels differently. It understands differently. There is a softness in the early morning that you cannot find once the world wakes up. This is why the Quran settles into you differently at this time. It doesn't just enter your ears. It slips quietly into your decisions, your patience, your reactions, your thoughts, your moods. It becomes part of how you speak, how you listen, how you forgive, how you carry yourself through the day. It's as if every verse becomes a companion that walks beside you. You feel calmer without knowing why. You speak softer without planning to. You handle stress with more grace. You notice beauty you would have ignored. You breathe a little easier. This is the secret mercy hidden in the early morning. A calm that doesn't appear once the noise of life rises. A clarity that only exists before the world begins to demand things from you. The morning is when the heart is the most open, the most honest, the most awake. And Surah Yasin speaks to the heart at that time in a way nothing else can. It reminds you who you are. It reminds you who you belong to. It reminds you who carries your worries. It reminds you that your day does not begin with stress. It begins with Allah. And once your day begins with Allah, nothing that comes after can shake you the same way. WHY Yasin at Fajr transforms you. Surah Yasin is called the heart of the Quran for a reason that goes far beyond a title or a saying. It's because its effect on your life resembles exactly what the heart does for the body. Think about the heart for a moment. The heart sends life to every part of you, to your hands, so they can work, to your mind, so it can think, to your breath, so it can steady, to your whole being, so it can function with strength. Without the heart, the body would move without direction. Without the heart, the body would lose balance. Without the heart, everything else would weaken. And in a similar, deeply spiritual way, Yasin sends clarity, light, and divine direction into every part of your day. It doesn't only touch the minutes you spend reciting it. It doesn't remain in the sound of your voice. It stays with you. It quietly follows you into the rest of the morning, into the afternoon when work pulls at your mind, into the evening when your heart grows tired again. The transformation doesn't appear suddenly. It unfolds gently, softly, quietly, in small moments that are easy to overlook, but impossible to deny when you reflect later. You begin to feel its effects in little shifts, the kind that seem small from the outside, but carry deep spiritual weight on the inside. A task that used to feel overwhelming suddenly feels lighter, more manageable, as if someone softened the edges of your day. A fear that once shook your heart now feels calmer, kite, less powerful, as if Allah placed reassurance inside you without a single word being spoken. A decision you were confused about starts becoming clearer, the way fog slowly lifts from a road and reveals the path beneath it. A burden you thought you were carrying alone begins to feel shared, as though Allah Himself placed His mercy on your shoulder and whispered, "You don't carry this by yourself." These small shifts, these quiet changes, are not random. They are not coincidences. They are not your imagination. They are signs of barakah, a blessing that multiplies what you already have, not by making your life louder, but by making your heart stronger. Barakah multiplies your strength. Barakah multiplies your patience. Barakah multiplies your clarity. Barakah even multiplies your time. And the thing about barakah is that it is never loud. It does not arrive with big announcements. It does not show up with dramatic scenes. It does not come crashing into your life. Barakah moves quietly. It enters like a soft breeze. It works in places no one else sees. In your reactions, in your thoughts, in your decision, in the way you breathe through struggles. Sometimes you won't even recognize it while it's happening. You'll only notice it later when you look back and say, "Subhanallah, I didn't know I could handle that. I didn't know I had that strength today. I didn't know that would turn out easier than I expected." That moment of realization is the whisper of barakah. This is the beauty of starting your morning with Yasin. It transforms you in ways your eyes cannot see, but your soul immediately feels. It works from the inside before it shows on the outside. It steadies your heart before the world has a chance to shake it. It gives you direction before confusion can distract you. It fills you with trust before fear can take hold. It gives you peace before the day has a chance to disturb it. And that's why the one who begins their day with Yasin walks through the day differently, with a calmer voice, a steadier mind, a stronger heart, and a brighter soul. They walk with trust instead of tension, with calm instead of chaos, with inner strength instead of inner noise, with light guiding their steps, instead of fear guiding their decisions. This is the quiet power of Yasin, a power that begins at dawn, but carries you through every hour that follows. Imagine this. You sit near a window before sunrise, at a time when the world feels like it's holding its breath. Everything is still, everything is quiet, everything is waiting. The sky holds that gentle blue that only appears before dawn, a color so soft it feels like mercy spreading across the horizon. It's a sky untouched by noise, untouched by rush, untouched by the world. The air feels cool against your skin, fresh in a way only the early morning can be, as if it has been washed clean during the night. It brushes against your face, reminding you without words that Allah renews everything, every morning, every heart, every soul, even yours. Your room is simple, nothing special, no dramatic sheen, no spotlight, just Kia, just you, just Allah watching over you. And somehow, in that simplicity, there is a peace stronger than anything you felt yesterday. A peace that wraps around you like a soft blanket, light but warming, gentle but steady. You pick up the Quran with both hands. The cover feels familiar. The weight feels comforting. The pages feel steady, as if they've been waiting for you longer than you realized. You open to Surah Yasin. Your eyes soften. Your lips begin to move. Your voice comes out slow, a little shaky from sleep, a little quiet from stillness, but completely sincere. And the moment your voice meets the first verse, something inside you shifts. Not loudly, not dramatically, but deeply. With every verse you recite, your chest loosens a little more. A tightness you didn't even notice starts to melt away, like a knot that has been silently waiting to be undone. Your mind, which held so many thoughts yesterday, so many to-do lists, so many worries, so many memories, begins to soften. Your worries don't vanish, but they lose their grip. They stop controlling your breath. They stop tightening your shoulders. They stop sitting so heavily inside you. Your soul, the deepest part of you, the part that gets tired even when your body sleeps, the part that aches quietly, the part that often goes unnoticed, begins to wake up, and suddenly it remembers why it was created. Not to rush endlessly, not to chase after everyone else's timeline, not to hide its struggles, not to compare its worth, not to carry pain alone. It remembers it was created to know Allah, to return to Him, to lean on Him, to trust Him, to walk through life with Him gently, steadily, peacefully. You recite another verse. And another. Your voice grows a little more sure. Your eyes slow down, as if savoring every word. Your breath deepens, the way a soul breathes when it feels safe again. Your heart begins to feel less crowded. Not empty, just clearer, more spacious, more alive. And as you sit by the window, you realize something you may have forgotten. You were never meant to carry life alone. You were never meant to handle every burden without support. You were never meant to face every morning in your own strength. You were meant to walk with Allah, not behind Him, not ahead of Him, but with Him, side by side, heart to guidance, weakness to mercy. And in that quiet moment before the sun rises, before the world can ask anything from you, before responsibilities start pulling at your mind, you feel it. You are not alone. You have never been alone. You will not walk through this day alone. Surah Yasin becomes more than recitation. It becomes a companion, a calm presence inside you, a reminder when your thoughts wander, a strength when your heart trembles, a light when your path looks dim. This is what a few sincere minutes with the Quran can do. It doesn't change the world outside you. The world will still move, people will still speak, challenges will still come, but it changes the world within you. It changes how you stand, how you see, how you breathe, how you carry your day. It gives you a heart that begins with Allah and a day that follows His light. It's not about perfection, it's about return. Some mornings the Quran will flow from your tongue with ease. Your voice will feel smooth. Your heart will feel open. Your mind will feel steady. You'll sit down and feel connected from the very first verse. And you'll think, Alhamdulillah, this is how it's supposed to feel. But not every morning will look like that. Some mornings will be slower. Your alarm will ring, and getting out of bed will feel like climbing a mountain. Your eyes will be heavy, barely open. Your brain will feel foggy, unable to focus on anything. You'll start reciting, and your tongue will trip over words you usually read easily. Sometimes your emotions will feel scattered. Sometimes your thoughts will run in 10 different directions. Sometimes your heart will feel distant, quiet, numb. And there will be mornings when life pulls you away faster than you expected. When responsibilities start early, when your schedule is tight, when your mind is already full before you even sit down. You'll open the Quran and realize you only have enough time for a line or two, maybe even just a glance at a verse, before you have to move on with your day. And that's okay. None of that makes you less sincere. None of that makes your worship less meaningful. None of that takes you away from Allah, because Allah does not measure you the way you measure yourself. He doesn't count how many pages you read. He doesn't judge you by the smoothness of your voice. He doesn't look at the perfection of your focus. He looks at your heart. He looks at your intention. He looks at the quiet effort you make when no one but Him knows how hard it is. He looks at the moment you choose Him over sleep, even when you feel weak. He looks at the small steps you take when your strength is limited. Every attempt you make is seen. Every breath you take while trying is recorded. Every moment of sincerity is honored. Allah has never asked for perfection. He never asked you to be flawless. He never asked you to be consistent in a way that is beyond your human nature. He never asked you to be anything more than a sincere servant who tries. He asks for sincerity. He asks for effort. He asks for a heart that turns back to Him, even after wandering, even after slowing down, even after days where your iman feels thin and fragile. What Allah loves is not the one who never slips, but the one who returns after slipping. Not the one who is always strong, but the one who reaches out to Him during weakness. Not the one who reads perfectly, but the one who reads honestly. If you miss a day, don't drown in guilt. Don't punish yourself with harsh thoughts. Don't let Shaitan whisper, "You broke the habit. You failed." You did not fail. You simply paused. And every pause can become a beginning again. Just come back. The next morning, or later that day, or whenever your heart feels even a small tug toward Allah, come back with your tired voice. Come back with your distracted mind. Come back with your messy thoughts. Come back with only 2 minutes to give. Come back even if all you recite is one verse, or half a verse, or even if you only open the Quran and your eyes land on a single word. Come back, because your effort is written in gold. Your struggle is honored. Your intention is cherished. Your return is more beloved to Allah than you can understand. In Allah's eyes, it is not the number of verses that matters. It is the heart that returns to Him again and again, even through weakness, even through distractions, even through life's noise. It is that quiet, sincere return, the one no one sees but Allah, that becomes one of the most beautiful forms of worship. More beautiful than perfection, more beautiful than fluency, more beautiful than long recitations done without heart. Because the beauty of worship is not in its length, but in its sincerity. And no return to Allah, no matter how small, ever goes unnoticed. How Yasin guides your day. As you move through your day, something gentle begins to happen. Not loud, not dramatic, not something others can always see, but something very real inside you. You start to notice small moments where the Quran follows you, not in your hands, not on your tongue, but in your thoughts, in your feelings, in those quiet places inside you that almost no one else knows about. A verse you read in the morning suddenly returns in the afternoon. You didn't sit down to revise it. You didn't force yourself to memorize it. You didn't repeat it 100 times. It just appears. Softly, clearly, exactly when you need it. It comes back because it spoke to a part of you that was waiting for that exact meaning. A part of you that perhaps you didn't even fully understand yourself. A line about trust appears when your heart tightens with worry, when you're about to step into a meeting, or answer a difficult message, or face a situation that makes your chest feel heavy. And in that moment, it is as if Allah is gently telling you, you are not walking into this alone, I am with you. A verse about Allah's power returns when you feel weak, when your legs are tired, when your patience is running out, when your heart feels like it's carrying more than it can hold. That verse reminds you that your limits are not the end of the story, that beyond your weakness is Allah's strength, beyond your tiredness is His support, beyond your fear is His protection. A verse about His signs comes back when you feel lost, when your plans fall apart, when the path you thought was certain suddenly changes, when confusion rises and you're searching for clarity you cannot find on your own. That verse reminds you to look again, to see Allah's signs in what is being taken away as much as in what is being given, to trust that even closed doors are part of His guidance. These returns are not accidents. They are not random ideas crossing your mind. They are not just nice thoughts. They are reminders. They are answers. They are small, precise messages from your Lord. They are guidance. They are mercy, sent straight to your heart, at the exact moment you need it. Not a second too early, not a second too late. This is how Surah Yasin works when you begin your day with it. It doesn't just live on the page. It doesn't stay in the sound of your recitation. It doesn't end when you close the mushaf. It walks with you. It meets you in your decisions, helping you pause before you choose, helping you weigh what pleases Allah and what only pleases people. It meets you in your silence, in those moments when you say nothing but feel everything and you need comfort more than answers. It meets you in your worries, when you feel the familiar rise of anxiety in your chest, and suddenly a verse brings you enough calm to breathe again. It meets you in your moments of strength, reminding you to be grateful, reminding you that victory comes from Allah, not from your own power. And it meets you in your moments of weakness, when you feel like you are failing, when you feel like you are not enough, when you feel like your heart is tired of trying. It whispers truth into your doubts. It places calm in the middle of your chaos. It brings light into the parts of your life that feel dark and confusing. It puts patience into your reactions, so you respond instead of explode, so you pause instead of regret, so you choose wisdom instead of impulse. Sometimes you'll feel it when you're stuck in traffic, when you're tempted to lose your temper. Sometimes you'll feel it when you're waiting for news, your phone in your hand, your heart beating faster than usual. Sometimes when you're talking to someone, about to say something sharp, a verse will soften your words. Sometimes when you're closing your eyes at night, a line from Yasin will rise in your heart, like a small nightlight, reassuring you that even in the dark, Allah has not left you. A verse comes back softly, gently, perfectly timed, and you realize Yasin has been walking beside you the whole day, not as a memory you forced, but as a companion Allah sent, like a quiet friend who doesn't interrupt your life, but stays close enough that you feel safe, like a protective presence around your heart, reminding you that Allah never abandons the heart that remembers Him. This is the subtle power of starting your morning with the Quran, The recitation may end, but the guidance continues. The words may stop on your tongue, but they keep speaking inside your soul. Surah Yasin does not stay where you left it. It moves with you. It shapes you in ways you don't always see right away. It settles inside you, changing how you see the world, how you see yourself, how you see your Lord. It lights your path, step by step by step. Not by removing every difficulty, but by giving you enough light to take the next step with trust. A home with Yasin is a home with light. When the Quran is recited in a home, even softly, even slowly, even by one single person sitting quietly in a corner, the entire atmosphere begins to shift in ways you cannot always explain. You may not see the change with your eyes, but your heart notices it almost immediately. It feels like the air itself becomes gentle, like something invisible settles over the space, removing heaviness you didn't realize you were carrying. The air becomes calmer, not the kind of calm you get from silence, but the kind of calm that feels blessed, the kind that feels like Allah has placed tranquility in the walls. It carries a kind of peace that no candle, no decoration, no expensive furniture, and no perfect routine can ever produce. It is the kind of peace that comes only from His words. The walls feel lighter, as if a weight you never saw has finally been lifted. You don't know what changed, but something feels easier, softer, more open. Hearts inside that home begin to soften. People speak with a little more gentleness. Arguments lose some of their sharpness. Even misunderstandings feel less heavy. Stress becomes less loud, less overwhelming, less controlling. Even children who may not understand the Arabic, who may not understand the meaning, feel something settle in their hearts. Their restlessness eases. Their moods become calmer because Quranic sound carries mercy in a way no human explanation can. The home itself begins to breathe differently. It becomes a place where emotional burdens loosen, where sighs become lighter, where hearts that felt tight finally soften. Your house becomes more than a place to eat and sleep. It becomes a place where the soul rests too, where sadness is held gently, where happiness is welcomed softly, where hearts feel safe even on the days when life outside feels chaotic. It becomes a place of remembrance, where Allah's name is known, where His verses are heard, where His mercy is felt. It becomes a place of mercy because wherever the Quran enters, mercy enters with it. Mercy for your mood, mercy for your reactions, mercy for your home's energy, a mercy for your family. It becomes a place where angels walk in and out, doing their work quietly, without you hearing a single footstep, but you feel the peace they leave behind. A peace that lingers, a peace that wraps itself around you, a peace that sits in the corners of your home like light. It becomes a place where blessings settle, not loudly, not dramatically, but steadily, the kind of blessings that make your day smoother, without you noticing why, that make your heart calmer without a reason, that make your home feel safer, even when nothing on the outside changed. And this transformation, this softness, this warmth, this light, it doesn't require hours of recitation. It doesn't require perfect tajweed. It doesn't require a beautiful voice, long sessions, or speakers echoing through the walls. It can come from one sincere person, sitting quietly at dawn, holding the Quran with tired hands, a hopeful heart, and a whisper of intention. This is the hidden power of a small morning habit, a habit that takes a few minutes, but fills the entire home with barakah, that lasts long after the recitation ends, a habit that makes your home feel protected even when you step outside its doors, a habit that fills the rooms with a softness that you cannot buy, cannot force, cannot fake, a habit that changes the spiritual climate of your home without changing the furniture, the paint, or the layout, only the presence. Even a single voice reciting Yasin at dawn is enough to turn a house into a sanctuary, a place where hearts heal, where souls breathe more freely, and where blessings stay longer because they feel welcomed. When life feels heavy, there will be days when you wake up already feeling tired, not just in your body, but in your heart. Days when you open your eyes, and the first thing you feel is not energy, but exhaustion, a kind of heaviness that sits deep inside, the kind that sleep doesn't fix. Days when the world feels a little too fast, a little too loud, a little too demanding, like everything around you is rushing and you're just trying to catch your breath. Days when stress speaks louder than peace, when before you even have a chance to think, your mind is already running. From one worry to the next, one fear to the next, one responsibility to the next. Days when your worries wake up before you do. They sit on your chest, as if they were waiting for you to open your eyes, ready to remind you of everything that is unsettled, everything that is uncertain, everything that scares you. Days when you feel like the weight of yesterday followed you into today, and the strength you had yesterday didn't follow you at all. And it is on those days, the heavy ones, the messy ones, the overwhelming ones, that you need Surah Yasin the most. Not because you feel strong enough to recite, but because you don't. Not because you feel disciplined, but because you feel like you're slipping. Not because your heart is steady, but because it feels like it is falling apart. Those are the exact moments the Quran becomes your place to land, your soft place, your safe place, your quiet refuge. Let the Quran hold you when you cannot hold yourself. Let it sit beside you when you don't have the energy to sit up straight. Let its verses speak on your behalf when your own tongue is too tired to form a single dua. Let its mercy wrap around you when you don't have the strength to gather your thoughts or calm your fears. Let Yasin remind you gently, softly, compassionately that Allah sees you, even on the mornings when you feel invisible. He hears you, even when you haven't spoken a word. He understands you, even when you don't understand yourself. He is near you, even when your heart feels too far to reach for Him. The heaviness you carry is not hidden from Him. The confusion you feel is not ignored by Him. The pain you keep private is not unnoticed by Him. And when the morning feels heavy, your recitation does not have to be heavy, it does not have to be long. It does not have to be perfect. It does not have to be strong. Even a few slow words, even a single verse, even the act of opening the Quran with trembling hands and a tired, hurting heart, that is enough. Because sometimes the greatest worship is not in the length of your recitation, but in your refusal to give up. Sometimes the most beloved moment is when you choose to turn to Allah, even when everything inside you feels weak, uncertain, or overwhelmed. Those heavy mornings, the ones you think are your worst, often become the mornings where Yasin does its deepest healing. It steadies you when your balance feels gone. It lifts you when your spirit feels low. It breathes for you when your own breath feels tight. It holds you when you feel unsupported. It lights your path when you feel surrounded by shadows and don't know where to place your next step. You are never too broken to return to the Quran. You are never too lost to be guided by it. You are never too weak to be accepted by Allah. And the Quran is never too far to return to you. It never closes its door. It never says, "You're late." It never pushes you away. It waits for you, even on heavy mornings, especially on heavy mornings. The verse that sums it all, there is a line in Surah Yasin that captures the entire spirit of the morning, the spirit of trust, the spirit of surrender, the spirit of letting Allah write your day before the world writes its demands on you. A verse so powerful, so comforting, so complete, that if your heart held only this one line, it could carry you through months of fear, years of uncertainty, and nights when hope feels thin. A verse that reminds you why beginning with Allah is the greatest protection and the greatest peace. His command when He wills something is only to say, be and it is. This is not just a sentence. It is not just a description of Allah's power. It is not just a verse you recite and move past. It is a doorway into a calmer heart, a doorway into a more trusting soul, a doorway into a life that feels lighter, because you finally understand you are not the one in control. It is a reminder that you are not alone in your struggles, not trapped in your problems, not abandoned in your fears. It is a promise that your situation is not permanent, your difficulty is not endless, your tears are not ignored, your prayers are not forgotten. It is a li